I got up early this morning. I wanted to do a bit of DIY on the Ferrari. What I want to do today is hardwire my battery tender to the car. Now, battery tenders are always a hot topic, and I think they're also known as battery conditioners. Sometimes people say, why on earth do you have to keep the car plugged in? You know, why is it always charging? And I mean, there's a couple of reasons really. There's a few reasons really, but essentially it's that there's a big drain on the battery in these sorts of cars with the electronics. And because they're not normally used all the time, it means that the battery starts getting depleted. So the best thing to do is always just to hook it up to a tender, and all it does is just maintains the charge in the battery. It's like a little trickle charge type thing, you know. And that works really, really well. And I think Ferrari sort of recommends you do that anyway, and that's why they normally come with a battery tender. I'm not sure about the more modern Ferraris. I'm assuming they also come with tenders, but definitely these, especially the 360, the 430, all those, and the ones before it, all need to be sort of kept charged up. One of the main reasons why you should always make sure that the battery is charged up and healthy is because you can't jump start the 360, for example, or a 355, or any of these. You can't jump start them, because if you jump start them, it fries certain parts of the car, such as the ECU. So, and I think some of the dash electronics don't have some fuses or something, so it's very, very sensitive to jumps in voltage. So if your battery goes flat, you're stuck. You have to charge it up or change the battery. You can't just jump start it. So to avoid that, best always keep it plugged in. The other thing as well is when you start the car, it needs a lot of power from the battery to start it up. It's a V8, it's a big engine, it's got a big starter motor, it's got a big alternator. It's quite a drain on the battery to start. And so you need to make sure that the battery is fully charged all the time when you start it up. If not, this has happened to me in the past where the battery's been a bit low, and then you start getting all these check engine lights coming on, and it starts doing some really funny stuff. And then it puts quite a drain on the alternator, which can cause issues. It could even cause a fire in the worst possible case. Now, there are various ways of doing that. I bought this. It's a CTEK MXS 5.0. And it does the job very well, actually. It's very, very good. I think I got this recommendation from the Ferrari chat forums. I think it's one a lot of people use, these CTEK ones. Does the job brilliantly. So now, when you connect this to the car, because obviously you just plug it in to the wall, and then the cat's destroying stuff outside. So you plug that into the wall, and then there's various ways where you can how you connect it to the car. Now, I've always used a lazy way of doing it, which is I bought a cigarette lighter connector, and that then connects to the tender. And the reason you can do that in the 360 is that the cigarette lighter is always on, even when the power is off. Even when you switch the car off, the cigarette lighter is always on, and a lot of cars don't do that. So on some cars you wouldn't be able to put the tender in the cigarette lighter. But I did that. It was the easiest way of doing it. So I just bought that for it. And obviously it doesn't matter where you connect to the electrical circuit. You know, wherever you connect and it's feeding into it, it's going to charge the battery. So that's why you can connect it to the cigarette lighter. My problem is my cigarette lighter's not working. So this week I thought I'm going to have to sort out what I was going to do originally, which I haven't done, so which has preempted today's video. So there are other ways of connecting this. I'm going to use this option. It's another connector that comes with the tender, and it's just got a couple of connectors there. I think it's on left-hand drive cars. I think it's behind the driver's seat. There's a place there where you can actually hardwire it in, and so in the evening when I go to plug in the car, I just literally plug it into here. So instead of using the cigarette lighter, I can just plug it straight into there, so I haven't got any more cigarette lighter issues. So a bit of a tutorial video today, and hopefully you find it useful. Right, let's get on with this. First things first, we need to switch off the power, electrical power in the car. So there's a little lever here which opens the bonnet, and here there's a little switch where if you turn it, now that's off. Right, so here behind the seats are these two sort of covers. There's one here and one there behind the other seat. And this is what we're going to remove, and we should be able to get to what we need there. Looks a bit scary back there when you take the panel off. I mean, there's quite a lot going on. These are some fuses, and here we've got this battery connection here, which is the one we want today. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect our positive here and our negative here, which will be also the ground. I've just realised a slight problem. This connector, which is the one that comes with the CTEK charger, it's too small. It's not going to fit. Well, that was frustrating. I really thought it was going to work. At least we know that if you buy a CTEK charger, you can't connect it back there. So the only other option really is to connect it directly to the battery terminals. So we'll give that one a go. As I mentioned earlier, the battery in the car is here in the passenger footwell, just behind this panel. So we need to remove that first. To remove the panel, I'm not sure how well it comes out on the camera, but there's a little flap here, and if you pull that down at the top, there's a couple of screws, so we just need to remove those. What we're going to do now is connect the positive first here, and then the negative over there. I've connected the two terminals, so before I put everything back, I always just like to make sure it's going to work. So I'm just going to plug it all in and see whether it starts charging. If all goes to plan, the lights here on the charger tender should start going up one by one. So let's see. Right, well that's good, it's working, which is great. Now, got to put everything back together. Got that. Whenever you work on the car, it always looks horrific for a bit, you know, with stuff everywhere. Now we just switch the power back on in the car. Right, I'm knackered now. That wasn't supposed to take so long. Right, well that's how you fit the battery tender to the car. Hopefully somebody will find that useful. You do and should always keep the battery in tip-top shape so you don't have any issues. And now I'm going to wash the car actually and then take it for a bit of a spin. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Right. Hopefully that was good for somebody, and catch you soon.